Hello and welcome to the Overwhelm is Optional podcast. I'm your host, Heidi Mark, and as a self-proclaimed ambassador for ease, my mission is to bring you more ease into your life, getting you out of the horrid fog of overwhelm and living the life you always meant to. So this episode is coming out on the 11th of November, and that's Remembrance Day, and it feels really important to take a moment, especially this year. I think it could be very easy, because a lot of the remembrance services have been stopped, to not make an effort this year to really genuinely remember, because we are in such turmoil and there's so much negative, there's extra negative stuff to focus on. It could be really easy this year to just feel completely overwhelmed, to be so stuck in survival mode because we have another lockdown in the UK, the American election is interesting and destabilizing. There's so much stuff you could point to at the moment and get really overwhelmed by and just think, well, the world's going to pop and there's nothing I can do about it. And how does it help to really pause and remember the sacrifice that previous generations made so that we can live in this world? Because part of you might be thinking, well, was it worth it? Democracy's going wrong, and was it all worth it? But it's not really the point, is it? The point is there's always something to be grateful for. And today I'd like to pause and remember and be grateful for everybody who fought and sacrificed in any of the wars, because there's always something going on, so that I could live in a democracy. Now, it might have faults, but I'd much rather be in the UK right now than in a whole load of other places that are going through much more terrifying things. And they've still got a pandemic. So yes, things are really difficult, and it's easy to just want to bury your head in overwhelm and just go, I cannot cope, Heidi. Just tell me something happy. Why are you making me think about this today? And here's why. I want you to seriously spend the day contemplating death. Because the contemplation of death allows us to live with more joy. If there's one thing that's going to break you out of the overwhelm trap, even for a glimmer of light, it is the contemplation of death. Not the contemplation of dying, the contemplation of living, because life does end. And I think we forget that it ends. I think we get so busy just getting through that we forget that we're really, really, really lucky to be alive. Waking up in the morning is a gift, regardless of how difficult your day is. It is a gift to be embraced, to be lived fully. And if your life is just really difficult to cope with at the moment, then you have my huge heartfelt sympathy. But be grateful for being here, because I'm glad that you're alive. And I want you to just spend a moment, if you can, if it's appropriate for you, contemplating death and thinking, okay, so this isn't going to go on forever. The pandemic, the overwhelm, the American election result, Brexit, it's all not going to go on forever. Yeah, there'll be something else. There's always something terrible, fear-mongering going on in the media, which is very sad. And there's also good stuff going on that we don't really hear about. But everything changes and things end. So how can you really use that contemplation of death, while you remember with gratitude the people who have died so that you can live? How can you use that to get out of that state of overwhelm where you're not really living, and really start to find more ease and joy in your life? Well, to start with, it can be really helpful to think about, what would you want to be remembered for? Like they say, people will forget what you said and you did, but they will remember how you made them feel. So for me, I want people to feel more in touch with their own power, to be able to find a sense of ease. That's really important to me. I would like to help the world be kinder. I would like to change how you are in the world for the better, to make it easier for you to stand in your own truth, your own power, to get out of your head, into your body, and really connect with what's true for you, and being able to share your gifts, being able to really live. I believe that everybody has a gift to share, and that how you are in the world can make an enormous difference. So how you treat everybody you come into contact with makes a difference. So getting out of your head and becoming more at ease with yourself, it gives other people to be more at ease with themselves, and it just changes the energy in a room. And wouldn't it be amazing if everybody was able to really be of service, really be aligned to the gifts they can share? Because everybody has something. Everybody has something. Some little snippet of wisdom to help somebody. We can't do it all on our own. So what is it that you bring to the world? What's your uniqueness? Because often I think there's a lot of everybody, we kind of think that we all have to have everything sussed ourselves, like we all have to be good at everything and really independent. And actually, it can be really helpful to allow people to help you. People like helping each other. So what is it that you can do to help somebody else? Because as soon as we think about helping somebody else, that helps us get out of our head. It makes our world a little bit bigger, and it spreads kindness. And when you spread kindness, you feel better. So what is it? What's unique about you? What's the tiny thing or the big thing that you can do, that you know about, that nobody else knows? Or maybe somebody else does know, but you do it in a different way, because you can't possibly be the same as somebody else. It's impossible. You may try, but you can't be somebody else. So that embracing, I'm inviting you to contemplate your own death, as in the hopefully a long way in the future. So what is it you want to be remembered for? What is it you want to really bring to blossom in this world? What is it about you? And often people kind of feel a little bit like, yeah, but I can't do that because it's too hard. And that's because the world can feel very unkind, right? And when we focus on all the stuff that's going wrong, that happens more and more. And I think that's one of the really insidious things about getting stuck in overwhelm, is you can get really caught up in this loop of doom about all of the terrible stuff in the world, and how it doesn't matter anymore how you are. And I'm here to say that it does. It matters very, 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 very much how you are in the world. And it doesn't have to be big. It might not be that you have a book to write, or a really important talk to give, or you need to be a leader or something like that. It might just be something small. There are people who are really, really good at just one thing, and it feels quite small, but it's such an essential thing that helps everything else happen, because we're all these little links, aren't we, in this network? So important. Never underestimate yourself. Never underestimate your gifts, how you are in the world. You know, some people are just very good at making people feel at ease. Some people are just very good at making people laugh. They might be absolutely hopeless at everything else, but that's a gift. And so when we think, when you kind of zoom forward to the end of your life, what do you want people to say when you are gone? What do you want to be missed for? Because you can really focus on that. You can really focus on bringing something good to the world, however small, however big, whatever you feel called to do. And I'm just inviting you today, on Remembrance Day, to really think about how you can honour the people who died so you can live, by making the world a bit kinder, a bit lighter, a bit easier, or by being brilliant at organising something so that other people can do whatever it is they need to do, because everybody has a part to play. It's just the way it is. We don't work very well individually. We work together as a network, and everybody has a little part to play or a big part to play. And I just find it really sad when people get crushed by overwhelm and end up playing small. I do it myself at times. It takes courage, doesn't it, to open up and share stuff with the world. But if I, as an introvert, can start a podcast, which took a lot of courage, and to turn up every week and share something that I hope is helpful, and thank you so much to all those people who have written and said, thank you, Heidi, this made a difference. Honestly, any comment like that is, excuse me, so helpful, so lovely. If I can do this, then you can do your thing. And it's important that you do, because as terrible as the times feel at the moment, they will change, they will end. What do you want to be remembered for? Don't wait. Start doing it. Start living, because you are important. How you are in the world matters. So get out of your head, connect to your heart, put all of your attention into your heart, and just notice for a moment any physical sensations in the heart. And just ask your heart, what does it need? What does your heart need to feel full? What would make your heart sing? And then just let that wash over you. So if you just keep asking that question, what would make my heart sing? What would make my heart sing? And then maybe you could just write down whatever comes out, or maybe you'll start noticing. Notice when you feel at ease or your heart fills. What is it? Is it a tree? For me, a big thing is living near trees and walking in woods. Really important to me. So I want to save forests. That's really important to me. I like planting trees and nurturing trees. That's one of the many things that fills my heart. So what would make you happy? What would make your heart sing? Because whatever it is, it's important. And today is a good day to just check in with yourself and make sure that you're heading in that direction. The direction that you meant to go but keep getting distracted from. Yeah, that life where you're doing the stuff that really makes your heart sing. Start doing it now in tiny ways or big ways, whatever it is. And then when you do that, you give other people permission to do the same. So you spread that kind of heart opening, heart filling, love, kindness everywhere. So where in your life today can you be a little bit kinder to yourself, a little bit more true to your energies and what you really need? So it might be, it's November here in the UK and it is a little bit gloomy. So it might be for you that you need to get really cozy and just close your eyes for a few minutes. Or it might be that you just want to read a book because you don't do that so much in the summer. I don't know, whatever would comfort you and make you feel better, whatever would really make you feel nourished, maybe you could do that today. Whatever it is that would make you be kind to yourself, start with that. Notice what makes your heart feel, what makes your heart sing, what makes your heart open, whatever that means to you. And then do more of that. Start getting back on track to the life that you always intended to live, but keep getting distracted from. Because life ends. And we should be remembering that in a pandemic, but it feels like we're not. I don't understand why there's not more dancing around going, I'm surviving a pandemic and I'm really grateful, but that's not what's happening. I guess it's because there's still so much fear and anxiety and there's more going on, isn't there, to do with money and jobs and families not being able to see each other. But you are surviving a pandemic. If you are alive, you're surviving a pandemic. And on this day, the 11th of November, being grateful for being alive, I think is one of the best ways you can be grateful for those people who died in wars so that you could be alive. And contemplating that aliveness and embracing it and really living from just tiny steps of being kinder to yourself, of noticing what's true for you, noticing what's important to you, that honours that, because you start to live more fully. Have an unexpectedly lovely week, and I'll see you next Wednesday. I hope you're enjoying this podcast and finding it helpful. If you'd like to know more about how I work as a body mindfulness teacher and coach, you can go to my website, www.heidimark.co.uk, or you can follow me in the usual places, Facebook, Instagram, and more recently a YouTube channel. You can also book, for a limited amount of time, a free 30-minute coaching call by going to calendly.com/Heidi-ease.